Something very cool happened today. I was going through it at work and I was really sulking. I was just pitying myself and I was just in a bad mood. And I was like, this is all so pointless. People are asking me the stupidest things, like absolute just pointlessness. And I was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing with my life? I don't know what the next step is. What if I'm gonna be here forever? And like I kind of just like was just in that space. And I went for a walk, called one of my friends, and I told him, I feel this, that, the other, not happy with where I am, I'm upset. And I was like, I was thinking just tap into the soul. The soul's not upset. And I was like, but I don't even want to tap into the soul. Like this, like it's just pointless. I don't know where I'm going with anything. And as I was saying this, it kind of like two things hit me. Number one, that it was just so pointless that it had to be orchestrated. And like the whole point of everything was to be able to stay tapped in without like within the mundane, right? And it was just so mundane. And I was like, wow, like there's no such thing as pointless. Like if you're going to tap into the reality that everything's guided by infinite intelligence and that you're a soul going through this process or a consciousness within this eternal consciousness, then every single thing is actually meaningful and there is no pointlessness to anything. And the fact that it was so pointless was actually like part of the orchestration at work. And another thing that I thought about was I had this idea it came to me in a dream, oddly enough, where I thought to myself, it'd be cool if I had like rocks and I would have my emotions and I would associate my emotions with the rocks. And basically what I thought it would do is it would create some space. It would create some space between myself and my emotions by like kind of putting them energy onto the rocks. I'll be able to create a little space between me and my emotions and what I'm going through. So that's what I did. I started walking around and I found a couple of rocks, just some rocks that I liked that were clean. And I just started holding them. I found 4 rocks and I associated a certain emotion with each rock. So the first rock, I said, this is just the pointlessness, like the feeling of just like, what are we doing here? And then the second rock was more of like a lack of direction. Like I don't know, what my next steps are, and like I don't have anything to be doing. And the third rock was more of like I don't trust that anything will ever happen. I don't have trust that I'll ever get out of this and that my life won't be just the same over and over and over again and I'll just be looping and like nothing ever happening. And then the fourth one, I actually forgot what the fourth one is, but the point is that each of these rocks, I tied one of the emotions that I was feeling to. And then I started holding these rocks. And as I'm holding these rocks, I'm realizing that just as I'm holding the rocks, I'm holding the emotions. So the emotions are not part of me. They're not within me. I'm just holding them. Just like I'm holding the rocks, I'm holding my emotions. And I started to create some space between those rocks and my emotions. Myself and those rocks, myself and those emotions, started creating some space. And another thing came to me was that while I'm holding those rocks, that's all I have in my hands. I can't put anything else in my hands. I'm just stuck holding those rocks. Same thing with my emotions. While I'm holding on to those emotions, I'm just consciously, free-willed decision, making the choice of holding on to these emotions. And I can't hold on to anything else because I'm busy holding those emotions. And then I thought about it and I was like, I think I'm kind of over holding these emotions and I'm done holding these rocks. So I let go of the emotions and I let go of the rocks. And as I let go of each rock, it was like I let go of each emotion. I let go of holding on to each emotion. And as I did that, I'm walking and I'm thinking, well, now my hands are open and full, and I'm open and, not open and full, I'm sorry, open and empty. And now I'm kind of open and empty. So I was like, what do I want to hold on to? And I thought, damn, that sun's feeling good right now. Let me hold on to that sun. And I was like, damn, that sun's feeling good. Yeah. And then I looked at the trees, and the trees were like vibrant and green and alive. And I'm like, yeah, life's nice and vibrant and green and alive. I'm like, yeah, I'll hold on to that. And then a thought came back like, oh, you got to go back in the office. And like, I felt the emotion. I was like, hey, I already held that for a little while. I'll hold you later if you want. But like right now, like, I don't have to hold you. So it was so cool that those rocks actually were able to create some space. I'm going to call them space rocks. And I already found a bunch of crystals I'm going to associate with the rocks that are like, the vibey crystals and things like that for certain energy patterns, whatever it might be. And I'm going to create some space rocks because it really worked and it was awesome. And I was able to create some space. Not only was I able to create the space, I was like, I don't want to hold on to these emotions anymore. I let go of them. And then I kind of brought in what I wanted to hold on to. Wow.